Hello and welcome to the Edge episode number 10. We've got another fully packed out show for you with some reviews on Call of Duty 5 World at War, as well as a review of Wii Music and a few other bits and bats for you as well. So without further ado, let's crack on with this fully packed out show.
Dead Space has been touted as Resident Evil 4 in space. Some of the imagery is phenomenally creepy as well. There were times where I just stopped, spent a little time looking around, and was thoroughly disturbed. The ice-cold architecture of the galactic spaceship, beautifully smeared in 1080p blood, along with various body parts of both human and non-human alike, would send chills down my spine. I wouldn't really call the game a survival horror title, though. There's definitely a lot of slinking around in the darkness, surrounded only by the moans of the unmentionable, but there were also a lot of intense action scenes as well. Times where you're literally bombarded by fucked up looking demons as you flail around in desperation, not exactly hoping to kill everything in sight, but primarily just hoping to make it out of whatever room you're in alive. These parts are awesome and intense. A few of my friends have said this is what Doom 3 should have been. It can also be considered a much more mature version of Metroid. Dead Space does not win points for innovation. You've utilized these controls before. It's third-person shooting with a run button. The weapons are slightly unconventional, but nothing truly out of the ordinary. What Dead Space does do is fine-tune and make steps towards perfecting the art. In fact, it's merely a step or two away from perfection, which, in turn, is pretty damn good. It makes exploring each new area all the more enjoyable, and turns blowing off the limbs of the grotesque a thrill. Along with the item management and customizable upgrade, Dead Space's programming design is well thought out and well executed. I won't lie, I've seen other respectable sources grant this game the almighty rating of 10. But, while I do consider Dead Space to be great, it's not quite flawless. Dead Space is a brand new property, a brand new chance, and tries to be all that it can be, but there are still a few things that need to be ironed out. Unfortunately, just about everything takes place in the exact same spaceship. While this game is supposed to be a corridor shooter, the scenery does become a little monotonous at times. Many rooms look exactly the same. It doesn't help that the story has you running around doing a lot of bitch work as well. Your job turns into basically becoming Mr. Fix-It as you run around and activate switches for half the game. The first third of this game didn't do very much for me once I got over how incredible the graphics looked. It was somewhat run-of-the-mill and failed to present much of a challenge to me. The start of Chapter 5 really started to turn things up, though. The story became more interesting and the action got a lot more chaotic and exciting. And subsequently, through it all, the game went from being just about average to an absolute blast. Dead Space had finally clicked and it was cool. The inevitable sequel to Dead Space could turn out to be a 10. Now that the developers of the franchise have proven themselves, the potential to visit vast new worlds with a wider variety of areas is just immeasurable. I find myself wondering what more there is to know about the Dead Space universe and its various characters. Anyone who loves blowing enemies and demons into pieces with a slight survival horror edge to it should love this one. Sadly, there is unfortunately no co-op mode. This makes the game feel a little lonelier given the current industry climate of co-op becoming a necessity, but as a single-player experience, it still rocks quite a bit. I definitely recommend checking Dead Space out. I give Dead Space for the Xbox 360 an 8 out of 10.
It's been 5 years since Infinity Ward released its first Call of Duty, a World War II shooter, and 5 years down the road they're releasing their newest game, Call of Duty World at War, which is yet again another World War II shooter. But does World at War pack enough punch to make us forget about last year's Call of Duty game, Modern Warfare, or should we just save our money? The year is 1942 and the world— Stop! What are you doing? The world is at war! Yes, we know, thanks to the title of the game. Just stay over there, let me finish my review. Anyway, like I was saying, it's 1942 and the world is at war. Obviously, World War. Now, America is— Stop! America is fighting Japan and Germany. How do you know this? I have the game, not you. How do you know this? I learned it in school. Oh, that's right. School teaches you the story of the game. The truth is, if you're a story nut and you want to be on the edge of your seat waiting to know what happens next, and at the end of the story you want to be hit with a big twist and a huge surprise, stay away from World at War, because it's another World War II story. And, World War II already happened, so all you need to do is go to old person or finish 10th grade in high school to know the real deal. But that doesn't mean the campaign isn't good. I mean, it's just as intense as every other Call of Duty. You're still gonna have tons of bullets flying at you, grenades here and there, and a tank or two in your way. But with intensity comes a price. And when there's so much stuff going on screen at one time, sometimes I found it hard to decipher who my enemy actually was, especially in the harder stages. And with the sound of bullets and grenades going off all the time, sometimes they actually drown out the commands of your comrades, telling you what your current or next objective is. But that's only a small gripe and happens very seldomly. And when it comes to multiplayer, all I can say is that it's straight up fun. You don't need me to tell you how fun this game is. Just watch. And just like Modern Warfare, the thing that makes multiplayer so fun is the ability to gain levels and add perks. Now, in case you didn't know, perks are little abilities you can tack onto your online persona to make them even more intimidating. And with perks like Juggernaut that increases your health, deeper bullet impact, and the ability to drop grenades once you die, I'm sure you'll have your enemies running in fear. Also, it is really easy to get addicted to multiplayer, which is a great thing. Oftentimes I found myself saying, I'll get off as soon as I gain this next rank, only to be saying the same thing 4 ranks later. In the end, I'm gonna have to say that World at War is ridiculously fun, and that's great because it's a game, and games should be fun. Ever since I put this game in my disc tray, it hasn't come out. And even though you've heard the story about 1,000,000 times over, it's still gonna be fun to play through campaign, because the presentation is really well, and so is the storytelling. And when you're done with campaign, hop on multiplayer, because in my opinion, that's where it's at. That's where the fun really begins. As a matter of fact, what are you still doing watching this review? Close this window out, get in your car, drive down to wherever you buy your games and pick it up. And if it's not available where you are right now, just close your eyes, use your imagination, and pretend you're playing it. But all jokes aside, when you do pick up this game, and when you do get on multiplayer, just remember one thing. The mute button is your friend. Noob, you're such a noob. Go die, noob. You're a noob.
Grand Theft Auto 4. Well, fuck that. I'll get the cab.
No! What the hell? I don't want to check him. God damn it! No, this game never does what I fucking ask it to do.
No, man.
God, Jesus! Fucking physics engine! Hey, look, a flying red. You've been a shit up my ass for too long.
Get down on the ground, sir.
You'll never get me. I have cheats.
Quick, shoot the noob.
What? Fucking hell?
Okay, let's see.
Now they'll never catch me. Good, let's go bowl. For the last time, Roman, I don't want to go fucking bowling.
Okay, maybe another time.
Ah! Hey, I'm alive! God damn it! Land of opportunity, my ass. Just give me a fucking bike so I can go home, okay? A lot of fucking good you are to me up there! You piece of shit! Shit! My fucking balls! I'm about to die. A hot dog stand, please. I need help.
Hey, get out of the road.
I hate this country. Now my cue to come from nowhere with a shotgun and blow the fuck out of you. I paid $50 for this?
Hi, I'm Hanslow,
And I'm Hector Sanchez,
and we're the producers of Mortal Kombat versus.
DC Universe.
Today we're going to talk about some of the new modes in our game and kind of explain what they are. One of the things we're going to talk about today is freefall combat. Freefall combat is basically the mode of the game where as you're fighting, there's certain places in the arena where you can throw your opponent out, and as you throw them out, you fall. Now traditionally this is more of a cinematic scene where you sit back and watch the action until you arrive to the next level of the arena. We've taken that out of the controls of the game and given it into the player's hand, where now you can start throwing punches and trade punches with your opponent.
Yeah, you can totally influence what happens in these kind of transitional pieces, and they're very old school. They're very reminiscent of kind of the old Mortal Kombat games.
Right.
We just wanted to add another layer of complexity to it in
Yep.
this iteration because that's what we can do now, right?
Right, and as you're falling, you also have the ability to fill up the meter on the side of the screen. If you fill it to the right level, you can pull off a super.
Yeah, every character is going to have their own specific special move in freefall combat. I know for the Green Lantern, his ring turned into like a saw, you know.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. There's a lot of cool things that
Yeah.
are going to happen in there, and I think players are going to look forward to actually building up that meter and pulling off those special moves
Yeah.
in the middle of a fight.
Definitely fun. Another mode that we have is close combat. This is more of a tighter and close fighting where the camera actually comes in really tight between the two players and you can actually see them trade punches and see the reactions and also see some of the damage that occurs as they're fighting up close.
Yeah, it's a very brutal, intense kind of mode. The camera pans in close. We get to show off the detail of our characters.
Right.
The hits are real jarring.
Yeah.
As camera shakes, there's really like
The sounds
kind of
are
like, yeah,
solid.
the exaggerated. I mean, everything's really cool, and it's a guessing game between
Yeah.
between the two. There's a couple HUD elements that come up on the screen that kind of tells you what buttons that you're pressing. So if you pay attention, you can kind of learn your opponent's pattern,
Right.
and the
And
next time they
you
try to
can
put
actually
those,
counter it
you can
and
actually
break out of
anticipate
it.
and counter it. And every character has their own counter move too. I know like Catwoman kind of does a little backflip out.
Right.
You know, Scorpion does a cool ninja thing.
Yeah.
And the characters actually have their own attacks in that mode as well.
Yeah.
So we were able to capture a lot of really cool animations. I know the Joker pulls in somebody and like pokes their eye out, like you would imagine the Joker would fight.
Exactly.
Catwoman kind of scratches on the face. You know, Batman has like this huge forearm.
Every character has something special, so there's something for everybody, definitely.
The last mode that we actually kind of brought into this time right around is Rage mode. Basically, Combat Rage is kind of the centerpiece and focal point of our story mode. And what Rage mode in the game is kind of represents this kind of state of being where the fighter just has no control over what they're doing. They're just kind of like enraged, obviously. Basically, you build this mode up by performing a lot of the special moves, performing a lot of the advanced combos, also by getting hit.
By getting hit as well. So it's kind of you're getting it and taking it. It's actually broken into two parts. One, if you fill up the bars individually, what you can do then is pull a counter.
Yeah. You earn breakers.
Breakers.
Basically, pretty much is something that we've had in a lot of Mortal Kombat's combo breakers. If somebody is trying to start a combo on you, you can actually pull this,
pull it out
and stop
them
it in the middle of it, so that you're not sitting there getting
that
hit
way,
10 times over.
Exactly, you can break it.
But if you hold on to those breakers and you build up your rage meter the whole way, you hit both triggers, you trigger it, and you go into this kind of like 5 to 7 second kind of state of being where your hit reaction animations are turned off. So if you're melee hitting me, I'm just going to barrel through all of your attacks.
Or if I'm like trying to go into defensive pose, you can break right through it.
Yeah, exactly. If you're blocking and I perform a combo, the first couple of hits are going to knock your block away, and I'll be able to kind of continue through it. So it's a really game-defining, really game-changing moment. You want to make sure that you trigger it at the right time, and the actual visual impact of it is really cool. Your body kind of goes into this whole big glow.
Yeah.
It's something that we've never been able to do before, and it looks really awesome.
The Joker wins. Fatality.
Welcome to Big Smile Reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing Star Ocean First Departure for the PSP. My PSP has been lying on my shelf collecting dust. I never even touch it. I forgot that I have the thing, okay? Wait, where was the PSP? We don't even know where the PSP was until this game comes out. We waited a long time. I was like, where are the good games for the PSPs? And at last, Star Ocean First Departure comes out. This game is amazing, an amazing RPG. Okay, so here it is. This is outside the city. This is how the world looks. And look at that. You see this? You can travel between different cities. A huge whole world to travel across.
We've got enemies. Let's go.
Look at this. You see, you have team members which you assign attacks to. They can heal you, they can attack for you. You see, just tap the X button and you do attacks. You can switch who the target enemy is. You can attack different enemies.
Behind us! Damn, they're behind us?
Okay, here you see a little bit of an ambush now. But anyway, now you can also do special attacks. Check this out. If you assign the special attacks, either this side button, L or R, will do all kinds of different special attacks. You see that? Okay, now my team members are a bit weak. One of them is already dead. It's okay, I'll revive her. Okay, so one of my team members died in battle because these enemies got a lot harder. So what we do is resurrection elixir, and we use it on the lady. And you see that? She gets resurrected. Now check out this equipment. You can equip your characters with tons of different weapons. You see, lots of different weapons, from armor to shields to helmets to shoes, gloves, you know, everything. Different accessories, necklaces.
These guys serious?
Yeah, I think these guys are serious. Look at these slugs, okay? So there's quite a lot of stuff that you can do in this game, and these battles I think are amazing. You see, they're not turn-based. They're almost like a fighting. They're almost like a fighter, like in the Tales games, okay? This is like the Square Enix's version of Tales, I would have to say. Okay, so you saw those battles, very full of action, crazy battles, where you just mash the X button to do your hits. You can mash one of these buttons for the special attacks, you know, very simple to get into, very good fun, just like in the Tales games. I would have to say, this is Square Enix's version of Tales, damn it. The game was not folly, for God's sake. Anyway, those are the amazing battles. So you can level up your characters, you can level up, then you get different team members that you to go along with this amazing story, very adventurous story. You'll be going up into space, you'll be going traveling in time, full of great stuff. Okay, now this is we're inside a city right now. Look, this is like a picture. You can talk to different people, they tell you all kinds of sort of different things. And you see, look at this. Quite nice city, you know, it's drawn, but you see, it's like a picture basically. So as you go further, you get smaller. As you come closer, your character gets a bit bigger. It works very well with perspectives. You get all kinds of armor shops. You get all kinds of houses. Let's walk in. Okay, this is the skill place. You can buy and learn different skills. You see, if you talk to them, you have to pay for it all, of course. Big library here. Check it out. And you see, the cutscenes in this game are just top-notch beauty. You know, look at this. Beautiful cutscenes, anime drawings, beautiful art, voice acting in pretty much almost all the cutscenes. Look at that. And really, these are some of the longest cutscenes I've ever seen in a video game. And the fact that this is on a PSP is just really impressive, you know. Longest cutscenes. I mean, I think there was one cutscene was something like half an hour long, you know. Seriously long stuff and a really good story. And this goes along with the missions. You don't have clear missions. It's really a lot of exploring, traveling from city to city, getting different party members onto your team. So it's really good stuff, you know. I'm really impressed. A good game like this came onto the PSP. Look at that, huh? These are your party members. She's not with you right now. You have to find her. You get different characters, and it works out really great. I love her tails. Check it out. They got tails and all. Okay, then this is how the dungeons look, and the dungeons are pretty awesome here. The enemies are very different. They're a lot harder in the dungeons, and there are bosses here. Check it out, you can find all kinds of treasures. Ooh, necklace acquired. It will help that. It will help me, definitely. This is who we're after.
Damn you all. Prepare to die where you stand.
Look at her, okay? The four of us against this, whatever the thing she is.
These guys serious?
See, you don't have to control Vodak. You don't have to control this character. You can switch between who you want to control. It gives a lot of freedom here. Okay, now let's just focus on her. Okay, where are you?
This game you spend a lot of time battling, and also watching cutscenes because the cutscenes are just humongous cutscenes, like a whole movie thing. You can unlock them as well. What do you think, Potato Head? Is at last we get a game for the PSP, which is good, isn't it? We love it. Potato Head's glasses on him. How do you like that? How do you like that? It's a new look, huh? You gotta get your eyes straight, though. What, can he wear your glasses? What do you think, Potato Head? Yeah, he's happy with it. Green Dude, he can wear his glasses. This game is amazing. I'm really proud to say that PSP has shown once again that it is there. It's in the market. You can't put it away just yet. It still has really good games. A few really good games like this. Star Ocean is a great game. If you have a PSP, love RPGs, and if you especially love the Tales games, this is a definite must-buy have. Thank you for watching Big Smiley Deals.
This is the Wii Viewer,
And I like the reviewer.
and we're going to review Wii Music. I have a good feeling that we're not going to agree on this one. What did you think of Wii Music?
I liked it.
Really?
Yes.
My problem with the game is that it's just bleh. I think the game is interesting, but not something I would play more than an hour. I am not a fan of rhythm games, mainly because I don't possess any sense of rhythm in real life, as I'm sure some of you have seen in my Guitar Hero review. So this game didn't really appeal to me, but I could see why people would like it. The game is hosted by a guy who sounds like Curly from the Three Stooges. There are lots of different sounding instruments in this game to play. However, the instruments are just basically props, with one exception that I'll get into later. It'll automatically play the notes it needs for the song. Your only job is to keep the rhythm. Some of the instruments were obviously just filler. The dog suit for one. I don't consider barking like a dog a viable instrument. On some of the instruments, if you hold the C button or the B button, it'll change the tone and pitch of the note you're playing. There are 4 different ways to play the instruments. They range from simple to complicated. The easiest and the less time tiring is the trumpet-style controls. You use the 1 button to make the notes, and if you're feeling a little bit rebellious, you can switch it up with the 2 button. Piano style is as simple as thrusting the Wiimote up and down like you're playing the keys on a piano. Guitar style is played by extending the nunchuck out and holding it like you're holding the neck of a guitar, and you make the motion of strumming the guitar with the Wiimote. Lastly is violin style, where you hold the nunchuck outward like you're holding a violin, and you move the Wiimote back and forth like you're using a bow to play the chords. Most of the time it seemed to read my actions correctly, so I can't complain about that, but it sure did get tiring quickly. The one exception to the simplistic play is the ability to completely control playing a drum set. However, to do this, you'll need to pull out your Wii balance board from the closet. It was extremely complicated to control, but if you really worked at it, you could get it down and just really amaze your friends. The actual game can be played with up to 4 people in your band. That means you can have 4 separate people playing 4 separate instruments at the same time, and that's pretty amazing. There is a very extensive training program in this game, so if you really want to get into the advanced features of the game, it'll do a good job training you. Plus, when you complete a training program, you'll get more songs unlocked. However, most of the game you'll be in a jam session where you'll pick one of the few backgrounds and rock out to the song you choose. There are 50 songs to choose from, and there are some licensed songs in there, like Material Girl by Madonna and Locomotion, but really bad versions of them. They're like MIDI versions of them, which I don't personally like.
They're not bad, it's just that you have to really play them. To actually make it like the song, you have to make it follow notes on an option that you can use.
Let's say you get through the entire jam, you get done, and they let you replay it and rewatch it. I thought it was clever the different camera angles they use to show you playing the song. So it's not just you looking at yourself playing the song. So that was kind of cool.
Uh-huh. I agree.
They let you go through the entire song even if you make a ton of mistakes. They always go to the end. And then you rate on how you did. That's the major flaw in this game. The game doesn't care how you did, and I think that's a major problem. Why not just give yourself 100 every time? It's like when you're in school and the teacher says, you grade your own test. You give yourself an A. What are you, insane? You don't give yourself an F.
Nah, but I do grade the ways I would do.
After you get done, they let you make your own CD cover, which I thought was cool because you could customize it any way you really wanted.
There's 3 different type of games in here. The beatbox, you have to hit it at the same time when they land on the floor. The bells, you have different color bells, and each hand that your Mii's holding is the one that each bell is in your hand. And so on, you have to match your notes with the bell when it goes on your bell's note that you have to play. Pitch perfect. There's one thing I want to tell you before I get onto the game. I rule on this game. Part 1 and 2, it's match the speakers. Part 3 and 4 is match both Mii's. Now the time limit in the game. At the end, which gets a little hard, you have to follow the beat speaker and put the Mii's in the right spot so they match the part.
So, little Wii viewer, would you buy, rent, or skip?
Rent.
So you wouldn't buy this game?
Well, the game is really short.
I agree with you.
That doesn't mean that it's bad.
I don't think the game is bad. I just think it's so blah that no one's really going to care.
So you're going to say that you're going to skip it. Don't ask.
No, I'm not going to say skip it, amazingly enough. I think you should rent it and not even think about buying this game. Not at $50. That seems excessive for this type of game. Little Wii viewer says rent, I say rent, but please don't buy this game. It's not worth it.
But just for fun, to end this review, I'm going to show a picture of me in my Halloween costume.
This is a Nintendo DS review by Tenacious Dima. Hey guys, today I will be reviewing my first Nintendo DS video game review. As you see, I have a DS Lite in black, and today I'm going to be reviewing Transformers Animated for the DS. I don't have any box or anything to review because I don't buy DS games anymore. What I use, it's called an R4 card. Revolution 4DS, with the theme song and everything. It should say Hasbro. There we go. So we pull up to a menu, and it says press start or touch the touch screen to continue. So you just press start, and you have new game, load game, options, and unlockables. So I already have a game beaten, so let's just start a new game so you can see what it's all about. Then you get the theme song. But we all know what that's like, so I'm gonna skip. Sorry. Then you get these little cutscenes with Optimus talking, and then it just shows pictures, and that's how all the cutscenes in the games are. So. So, with Bulkhead, you just touch him, and then I'm going to swoop up to hit this little button up here. And then it activates the door to open. You could just hit L or R to switch back Transformers. And that activates the elevator when Bumblebee shocks it. So, the whole game is basically partnership, you know, figuring out one does this, the other does this. So you put Bulkhead on there and you shock it with Bumblebee. Bulkhead goes up. So the whole game is like this. It's very repetitive. I mean, and here's Prime. So, this is just training and whatnot. Let's take a look at some other levels. So, here I am in one of my current saved files, and I thought this would be a very good level for the review. Bulkhead and Optimus Prime just made it to Cybertron chasing Megatron. So, gives you and Bulkhead. I suggest you take out the stylus, because both these guys require it. Bulkhead to throw his fist, and Prime to throw his axe, which you will both need, you know, or the directional pad. That'll send Prime upward with his grappling. Go to this, and you press A, it'll open a door. Like I said, just teamwork. One does something, the other does the other. So, this is for Bulkhead. Any green door, you smash with Bulkhead. On Cybertron, this is totally different than what you just saw in the first level. Everything's really high-tech and just advanced. There we go. And then that gets in. Another thing, whenever Bulkhead punches a door, he steps back every time, or falls back. So, in result, that kind of does disadvantage you at some points in the game. Bumblebee is actually the best for attacking because he has electricity that can go anywhere, whatever you aim. And these two just have stationary kind of weapons. I mean, Bulkhead's fist can only be thrown so far. Up screen, it shows you all three characters. Throughout the game, you just use Bumblebee, Optimus Prime, and Bulkhead. And then there's their life or health percentage, and those three keys right there are basically your life, or your revival of life. So, while he's flying up, why don't we send Bulkhead up there? Actually, let him get that Energon Cube. He needs it. So. It's a little too repetitive for me, but I'm one of those kind of hardcore gamers who likes to, you know, just jump down into something and beat the heck out of someone or something and shoot it up. I'd recommend this for kids. I'd have to say 6 to 12. Just because, I mean, I don't know, for me it's just not doing it too much. I'm a huge, and you're picked up by the crane, and Optimus is controlling this, and he's getting attacked. Meanwhile, consider redoing it or their style of control. See, that third one always missed. So Prime gets that already. Bulkhead then goes over there. And you end up dragging, push it on there. And it goes, activates the trigger, and turns off the air. Let Prime catch up now because you don't want him to get too far behind. And then with the enemies and everything, it just really makes me mad. I mean, like I said, I would not recommend this game if you're a fan of the show, unless you're... And we've reached the end of the level. So you get him there, and then Prime will do a nice victory dance, if you will. Then it tells you how good you did. Overall, the game I would give, I don't know, a 4 out of 10, and I'm usually a really light grader. I mean, thanks for watching. I hope you guys liked. Subscribe. Stay tuned for more Transformers and comic-related reviews.
And that brings us to the end of this episode, I'm afraid. Stay tuned next week for episode 11. But in the meantime, as always, you can check us out at www.thetotalgamer.com. Feel free to leave us an iTunes review if you've downloaded this episode from iTunes. And if you want to submit an entry or actually participate in the show, feel free to also email us at edge@gamingunlimitedtv.com. I repeat, that's edge@gamingunlimitedtv.com. Anyhow, we're going to leave you with this last parody, as always. So until next week, folks, stay safe and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.
fuck's my laundry?